Keeping excellence in mind, where the coach can unwind. And if you parents need advice, well, don't think twice. For everything you need to know, it's the Dr. Casey Show. The Dr. Casey Show.
Welcome. It is Saturday, December 27th, and we are rounding up 2008. I am Dr. Casey, your host and sports psychologist. This has just been a fabulous, fabulous year. And if you are in Southern California today, you're smiling because it is crystal blue skies outside. In fact, here from the Big A, I was looking outside the windows earlier, and we've just got a gorgeous view of the mountains covered in snow. Just been a lovely, lovely turn of events in our weather here. And I know we're spoiled. If you don't live down here, we know it. We're very aware of it, but we also appreciate it very much. At least I do. And as I was tobogganing yesterday up in Wrightwood with my little girl and my husband, and Avery went down the hill for her first time, and we're smiling. We drive back home in this beautiful weather. I was thinking about the show today, and I was thinking about what a wonderful 2008 it's been. I mean, sure, we've had tragedies internationally. We've also had extremely tough times economically. And although the holidays were somewhat reserved, they were also really meaningful at the same time. And there's been some amazing, amazing sports stories throughout the year. So I wanted to start the show today with some of my own awards for sports psychology in the year 2008. And I mean, you're in for a treat because I actually went through and I reviewed everyone's top 10 lists that I could find. And I looked for all these great stories going all the way back over the last 12 months. So we've got a series of awards. All right. So we're going to be doing that. But something very troubling to me lately. And if you've been driving at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is the competitive sport of holiday driving. I have about had it, okay? I'm driving up today. There's hardly any traffic outside. Ashley and I are coming up to the studio, and just people driving up on us. I mean, the cruise control set at an appropriate speed, and it's absurd. So I decided to do a Psychology 101 segment on this, and we're going to explain why this competitive sport has just gotten out of control this 2008. But starting off with the awards, let's get to it. I have an award for the best rivalry awards this last year in sports. The first goes to the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers because, in 2008, in the NBA Finals, we got to renew the ultimate NBA rivalry. It was just amazing to see also Coach Doc Rivers and Coach Phil Jackson, having this wonderful duel. And it was just wonderful. And we've seen that continue on into this season because the Lakers didn't enjoy going down 4-2 in that series. And wasn't this week's game amazing? So 2008 rivalry, just great to see that coming back. Also, Wimbledon this year. Wow. That's all I have to say. Wow. Exactly. It doesn't get much better than a 5-hour-long match that comes down to a 9-7 final. I mean, just amazing 9-7 final set. And Nadal beating Federer, it was just wonderful. Now, in these rivalries, I want to point out psychologically, emotion was key. Genetics, had a little something, but motion was key. And this genetics conversation is going to come up later. But just wonderful rivalries, and you got to see the emotional charge really take things to new heights. All right, so those were my first awards. The second set of awards, and this was interesting, because for me, these two moments, or sagas, as one of them was both the best and the worst, all at the same time, all wrapped up into one. And so my first goes to Brett Favre. I mean, he retires. No, wait, he's back. No, wait, he's a Jet. It's just odd, all right? Because I don't know whether we've ever seen someone have such a public retirement get turned around, at least not that I can remember recently. I don't know, maybe it was being hit in the head too many times and tackled. Perhaps he foresaw the economic meltdown and didn't want to be unemployed. I don't know. But here's what I think really happened. I think he just knows that his identity as a person, as a man, is that he is a football player. And that competitive drive within him, I mean, if he's not competing in football, he didn't know probably who he was or what he was going to do. So it really was just that passion. I mean, can't you just see him in the locker room after he's come back? You know, Brett's walking over to his locker. He's embracing his helmet. He's got the jersey and pads on, and he's looking at the helmet. And I can just imagine him, you know, looking at the helmet. You complete me. It comes down to identity, people. All right, my second best and worst moment, all at the same time, goes to the moment in the Olympics where we're so caught up in the spirit of these wonderful games that we saw this year. And we see bolting, setting a new standard in the 100 meters. I mean, at the Olympics, 9.69s, truly dominating. But at the same time, that beautiful moment of setting a new standard was met with pulling up with 20 meters to go, that taunting physical behavior, that just completely incongruent, you know, almost a little bit shameful in a way. Yeah. Oh, harsh. But it was best and worst at the same time. So it's like raw and yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. Even though they weren't year-end champions, all right, I have 2 Cinderella awards to give out. The first goes to the Tampa Bay Rays. And I guess dropping the word devil from your name goes a long way in the superstitious world of baseball, because even though they lost the World Series to Philadelphia, this Cinderella team, the way that they turned around from their previous season's performances, phenomenal. Just absolutely inspiring, and they deserve a nod for that. Absolutely. And it must have really rubbed off on our local Tesoro High School varsity boys team. I mean, I was here at the stadium watching them face off against this historic Long Beach Poly program, and it really shows us the difference that 3 years can make. Exactly. Stand up and recognize. I mean, they moved up in this new division, in this competitive sport here in Southern California, and they showed us that 3 years time and all of it, resources, public high school team, didn't matter. And look at how many of their team members and their head coach, that the way they're being honored in the all-county first team selections. Just fabulous. So kudos to them. I mean, I don't think I've seen a Cinderella season turnaround quite like that since maybe Northwestern made it to the Rose Bowl in the 90s, pre-BCS Rose Bowl series. It was a beautiful, beautiful season for them. And anyway, I hadn't seen something like that in a long time. Okay, my next awards. Mind over matter. Now, this is a lot of psychology playing into this, but look at how Tiger Woods took the Open with one working leg. All right. I mean, you blow out an ACL. He only had one intact ACL. All right. And he still managed to win the playoff. And it captivated everyone watching. There's few moments that really in the world of sports transcends all difference. And even if you are not a fan of that sport, if you were watching that, you were in awe. Just one of those special moments in time. And although I have to say this, although I don't condone playing through an injury, Tiger, he made an executive decision for himself that this might have been the end of his season, end of his career potentially, if he damaged his body further. But I guess that's how he wanted to go out, at least for this season. Hopefully he can return. Just amazing stuff. Also, mind over matter. And I was, again, scouring the internet. Local San Clemente high school cross-country runner, Alex Dunn. She won state CIF honors. Took first place. And she ran the 12th fastest time in the history of California in 12 minutes and 27 seconds. Absolutely. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. We're going to hit that in a minute because she did it with one shoe. Mind over matter. Evidently, someone stepped on the back of her heel on accident, because it is cross country early in the race, and she finished the race with one shoe on. Mind over matter. Congratulations, Alex.